presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Al in Homosassa. Hey, Al, what's going on?
Isn't it wonderful? This gentleman here with the gold report, right before the market fell apart, ended up with PAAS. We had a 98% gain in a year. And, we weren't 99% proof like Irish whiskey, but we had a good gain there. You always told us to do what we feel comfortable with. And if I lose a little bit of money on the table, I will, but I know that I just pocketed $8,000 or $9,000 in 2 weeks.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. TGIF, as Tom would always say. Man, what a weird market. You're getting a little bounce today, right? Take a look at the SPY right now. You can see the volume is actually, somewhat decent. Pretty big bar up here, but definitely resisting, kind of this downward trend that we saw. Not downward trend, but a breaking of the upward trend. It's quad witching, so you potentially get a lot of short covering, moving stuff up. Like I'm looking at RCAT right now. It's the same thing happened with this stock today, and I got out of this just for a slight profit. But let me see here. You just kind of had this momentary movement up. I think I sold this up around here. Yeah, so you've gotten a little bit more volatility throughout the rest of the day. But you're starting pretty early in the morning. Extremely low, and just this constant kind of move upward, very slow, caps at 1132. I'm done with this thing. Lucky call on it because it just starts coming right back down. And I don't think that, something like this is indicative of any bullish sentiment. It's kind of just coverage. I think what we have to do today with the SPY, going into Monday, I can see this, maybe moving up a little bit more through the beginning of next week. We have a short week, So, maybe they just dump it right after Christmas, but I don't think this is the end of a downward movement in the SPY, at least in the short term. I'm not very bearish on the long run, but I do see some level of correction. This is a decent one, right? You see what happens, though. You have around August, right? Big dump coming down, a huge volume. We have the SPY trading right at 112 at 592. Let's see what else we got going on. The composite up about 1.47% at 19,653. You get the Dow Jones Industrial up about 1.5%, 42,977. It's also moving up a little bit. Crude oil sideways, 69.46. And then you get the Russell futures about 1.28 at 2,274. You have the gold contract up about 1.45% at 2,645, with silver up 2.46, trading at 30.13. You have copper trading at $4.10, up about 0.64. Look at this freaky movement in Lucid as well. Same kind of deal. I'm not really sure that's Lucid catching any major bid at all, but you are trading up 14.8% at 38 cents. Oh man, what are we taking a look at? I've been looking at, I could talk about Nebius a tad. There's nothing really new on it. Let me see here. 0.81%, which is some nice movement to the upside for the stock. It looks like it wants to test this $25 area, right? Where it's just kind of low from that breakout there. It's kind of unfortunate that for me, long term, this stock makes sense in a major way. I think it's just set up. I think at $5.4 billion, it's very good. They're projecting a 500 million to 1 billion ARR by the middle of next year. These data centers are going to be built out. This stuff's going to be in data centers. They are servicing Europe, breaking into America. I believe they're in Albuquerque for their first kind of foray into the States. I think this gets somewhat of a catalyst when CoreWeave drops an IPO, if they do, in January. And again, I think leadership is amazing at this company. I think they have cash. I think they have no debt. And I think they have a product that's in demand. You know, couple hundred engineers working for them and everything. So it's kind of cool. And it's unfortunate that it just hasn't been getting any kind of bid recently. It's just not attractive right now, I think, for a lot of people. But I do think that changes beginning of next year. Another stock that I'm looking at, well, first, you know, let's talk a little bit about Novo Nordisk. What a mess up here for them. It's kind of unfortunate. So it's off 17.19% at 85.65. This was like the major like GDP for Denmark, which is unfortunate. I think it was the largest company out of there. But the kind of drugs didn't really work, which is unfortunate. Let me see here. Yeah, so it's a trial result for CagriSema. And it just didn't work. So in a late-stage study, a next-generation obesity drug called CagriSema led patients to lose 20% of their weight at 68 weeks. As the company's own projection, 25% weight loss. Novo's stock tanked nearly 18% midday. So it's a combination of semaglutide and cagrilintide, which is just something else they do. Activates amylin and calcitonin receptors. But I guess it didn't burn out exactly how they wanted it to. You take a look at Hims as well. Still, these guys are struggling a little bit at this area. I don't know if this really catches a bid again. You know, if any bump up on this news is driving Hims, which it's not, which means the market's kind of aware of what's going on then, you know, I still wouldn't find this fantastic. We'll see what happens with that compound, the generic drug that they're going to compound, same kind of deal, GLP-1. It is a Novo Nordisk drug as well, and see if they can kind of save some of their hide on that. Because once semaglutide gets off the shortage list, we'll see that the FDA comes down very heavily on these guys. And so I think it's kind of, for me, I mean, 5.5 billion, that's what a move up, right? Because I mean, we're looking like in August at this company. I'll take a closer look maybe on the weekend or over Christmas, see if there's like just kind of review my opinion on Hims. I'm not in it right now, but people like this stock, which, you know, doesn't necessarily mean anything beyond there's attention to it. And so, you know, big news can kind of move this thing or any potential. Kind of on that note as well, I don't know how close we're into the break, taking a look at GSAT. This is interesting. They're up 6.12% today. This is, again, another satellite company, which it seems like people are really getting into, even, you know, larger companies as well. I wonder if we're going to start expanding like LEO in a major way. You're kind of seeing it start with SpaceX. Of course, you're seeing things like WiseKey move up, ASTS. I don't know how that's doing today. Yeah, but the hype around developing space is becoming huge. And so this communications with GSAT, they're partnering up with Apple, and they have for quite a while, basically provide service. You know, I mean, you're getting these like smart watches as well that in theory are able to make satellite calls, which might be Apple's kind of new angle right now. If they're not developing any new tech, you have AI and then maybe the potential to, you know, just normally call satellite. We'll talk a little bit about GSAT, why it's kind of interesting when we get back from the break.
Ho, ho, ho!
The Tiger Dollar Holiday Double Bonus Sale 2024 is here.
Amazing money!
Now through December 23rd, we've doubled the bonuses. Don't miss your opportunity to get a double bonus up to 40% on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Here's how it works. Purchase 500 Tiger Dollars and receive 100 bonus Tiger Dollars. That's a 20% bonus, $600 total. Purchase 1,000 Tiger Dollars and receive 300 bonus Tiger Dollars. A 30% bonus, $1,300 total. Purchase 1,500 Tiger Dollars and receive 600 bonus Tiger Dollars. That's a 40% bonus, 2,100 total.
Oh, wow!
But you have to hurry because this holiday Tiger Dollar double bonus sale ends on December 23rd. Visit the front page of TFNN for details and get your Tiger Dollars today.
Ho, ho, ho! TFNN!
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, You've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Take a look at GSAT, Global Star Incorporated. The only reason it is appealing to me right now is I was looking at, it was on Edgar, and you have massive insider buying over the past week. This is all from one guy, James Monroe III. That's a person reporting here on the Form 4. But I mean, here, I'll just throw these over. It's just kind of interesting, maybe something to put on your radar and everything. But at least from what was just reported the past 4 days, I mean, you have five, this is, okay. Let me see here. Okay. This is yesterday, reported today. You have 500,000 purchase, right, at 188. You have another 500,000 purchase at 199, another 500 on Tuesday at 191. So I don't know if they're gearing up to drop any kind of news. I don't know when that happens. I mean, of course, you've expanded satellite spectrum here with Hawk. I'm not really sure what, massive kind of impact it's going to have. But the dealings with Apple, I think, is huge. And, again, Apple, I think, is trying to find, so everyone's going to buy Apple regardless, right? But this kind of idea that you have to keep iterating on new tech, I mean, at some certain point, you kind of run out of some certain things for a short amount of time. And so I wonder if the expansion into SAT calling with Apple's like IoTs or like the phones itself could be a new angle they go for, right? And I mean, you saw in the hurricanes that came, Helene and Milton, this was extremely important in places like the Carolinas, where people had no way to communicate with anyone. Now, of course, you had Starlink come in. They were able to use Wi-Fi via that, use internet via that, rather. But then Apple suspended any kind of fee for like satellite calling, and that helped a lot of people. And I mean, LEO satellite calling is actually pretty decent. It doesn't break up. It's not like you necessarily need you need it to be so efficient like how we do it now with these kind of signals. But it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm going to be taking a look at that a little bit more this weekend and see if it makes any sense to get in. But I wonder if some news is coming out here, and massive buys can kind of indicate. I mean, it's good. I mean, in my opinion, depending on everything else that's going on with the company, it could be kind of bullish. Obviously at these levels too. I mean, these guys don't want to bankrupt themselves. And buying 500,000. I mean, you bought 1,500 over the past 3 days. Excuse me, 1.5 million over the past 3 days, which is huge. So we'll see. Maybe we get some big news drop for GSAT going into next week. But keep it on your radar. See what happens. Trading 3.7 billion right now, so that's a pretty high market cap, at least for what they're doing. But we'll see if maybe they're signing new deals. Kind of cool to look at. Let's take a look at what else we have going on. Spoke about RCAT a little bit. I'm still bullish on RCAT, I think, going into next year. They had forward guidance of like 800 million to 120 million in revenue, which is kind of insane considering they gave like, I think it was like 1.5 million on their last report. So I think building out with Palantir is massive. Palantir itself is looking a little creepy at these levels. 78 up 6.31%. This is a $172 billion company, huh? What? So the deal with them is they just signed expansion. Let me get the news up for it. I mean, this thing has to come down. Give me 1 second. I think they had a 400 million. Yeah, so they're expanding out a little bit with the Army. Platform deal worth $400 million, okay. Currently trading at 71.46, is now up 78.87. Has moved up that much from the release of this, which I believe was 2 days ago. And we're up another 6.2% today. So it's secured a contract with the Army to continue its support of the Army data platform, multi-domain operations. That's through 2028. The agreement is valued at $400 million, could extend up to 4 years with a potential ceiling of 618. So that's pretty solid. But they've been doing this since 2018. I don't know. Personally, for me, I think that Palantir is getting very risky at these kind of levels. But again, I mean, you can see a consolidation kind of happening as well between that $70 and $80. I mean, that on some low volume can, kind of be ripe for a back test after this insane run-up this stock has had. So I would be nervous on Palantir. I do like RCAP, and RCAP's current valuation I think is very high. So I think even with like a, 80 to 120 million, revenue for next year, it's kind of priced well at this point, at a 882 million market cap. So it's all just a bunch of freaky stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff right now that is getting very pumped. Valuations are very high because everyone's looking for the next thing. You had this whole massive run up with AI that I think a lot of people missed out on. We talk like NVIDIA and Microsoft and even Broadcom at this point. And I think people are looking for that next thing, right? Because they want to get into the run. And that's what you saw with things. I mean, this qubit movement today is absurd, but this is what you saw with things like quantum, right? I mean, now you're dropping quite a bit. But look at the wick on that, right? You were up, I think, something like another 30% today. Now we're only trading at 11.96. But this stuff gets smacked, like they diluted as well. That's kind of cool. Of course they were going to. Trading at 2 billion market cap. And then you have IonQ, right? This, in my opinion, is the most legit quantum stock you're going to find. I don't know if this is currently valued at 9.6 billion. And I don't think that a lot of people investing in it know when quantum computing actually becomes legit and starts getting used in things like, medicine, in warfare, defense, and really finance, which I think will be massive. But if anything, if you're going to do anything, I wouldn't do it right now because I think these are insane valuations for what we were trading at, and there really was no new catalyst, I would say. Because of course we were buying this around like this level, right? And we got earnings, sold it up like the 2 days after, 2 sessions after. That was fantastic. I enjoyed that. But in my head, as much as I like quantum, the reason why I got out of that so soon is because, this is really good news for this stock, but I still think quantum has a little bit of time going out. And then you get the Google news, and then we do this kind of thing, right? Just be careful, with the quantum. But if you're looking at anything, I think a pullback on IonQ, really kind of like half of this valuation would be a solid, longer term play. And that's kind of just really quick, kind of math that I'm doing on it. But for them to really get hyper profitable in any kind of way, you need some larger leaps in quantum to come through. And no doubt, I mean, this is true quantum, keeping the, I think it's interbarium that they're doing in trapping the ion is, I think, interesting, you know? I'm not a quantum scientist or anything, but from what I can read on their website, and, you know, kind of breaking it down a little bit from other things that I just know, it seems very interesting and different than what other companies do with that. So, I don't know, but again, I think an 18% to the upside is nuts for today. Look at that big sell-off. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and to reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm not going to talk too much on this right now, but I just wanted to pull it up. It's just kind of like an unfortunate one for me. I was looking at this optics. I'm really big on the photonics. I just am. I'm super bullish on photonics. I just think it's gonna have to be how it's gonna be. You know, you need these photonics chips. The electron stuff isn't working. Too much energy, way too hot. I mean, one of the issues you're gonna run into with the video with this new Blackwell is that it's gonna overheat. You've already seen that a little bit, but I think it's gonna be a significant issue. And you know, you've seen those investments into photonics companies from these big guys because that's what they're going to make. And so I was looking at Syntec, and I have no opinion on this right now at 134 million market cap. But I was looking at this thing like seriously, right around. Oh man, no, it was a few days ago. I think right around this area, right? You had some volume to the upside. I was like, that's interesting. I looked at it. And I'm like, man, that's an interesting company. You know, photonics is great. It looks like there's like some people talking about it in the industry, and then you get this really nice run up, and lost out on 90% gains. Love that kind of stuff. But I want to keep my eye, and maybe I'll try to do this for the new year and stuff like that, but get together some kind of list or like watch list for companies that are in that realm. I'm talking like, you know, data center real estate guys, cooling technology, MEMS to allow photonics chips to communicate with electron chips. It's going to be big. I think you still have a lot of, and not that this necessarily matters, but you have a lot of the big banks also still being relatively bullish on semiconductors going forward. I mean, it's no doubt going to happen. But the photonics revolution will be immense. I mean, like what you saw with, you know, NVIDIA and all these kind of like GPUs and stuff like that, the photonics is going to knock that socks off like beyond comprehension. Kind of interesting to think about. Let's take a look right now, speaking with semiconductors like that at Intel. So off 1.59%, still kind of sad about this company. They released, because nobody cared, they released their new Battle Mage GPU, and apparently people just love it. It's knocking out the RTX 460, AMD's RX 7600, and they just can't keep it in stock, is apparently what's happening. Like, so many people are buying this Battle Mage. Apparently it's very good for AI as well. And so I wonder if they can get some buy on it, but really, I think new entrance into trad GPUs is just not, like, what I think Intel should really do is focus on the photonics and then communications between photonics and traditional chips. Like, that, I think, is actually a very good move forward for them. They're trying to sell one of their arms, which is unfortunate. Let me see here if I can get this. I think it's on Bloomberg. But it's just these guys are just trying to get money, and I respect that, and they probably do need to consolidate like their operations a little bit. But the question is, what do they do after that point? And they still don't have a CEO. And you got some interim guys running in there, and I'm sure they can attract some talent. But, you know, I wonder partly as well is if their board is just kind of bad, right? I mean, Gelsinger kind of messed some stuff up, but in the same vein, you know, he was trying to free up cash, which is kind of what they hired him for a little bit, right? Firing all the people, kind of consolidating operations and everything, and they fired him relatively unceremoniously. I mean, again, don't blame him. This is brutal, right? But you think about it too. I mean, there's some stuff along the way here that's not just Gelsinger's mismanagement. You know, I don't know what's going on there. They are producing stuff that just falls flat constantly. Battle Mage is fantastic that it worked and is beating all these kind of benchmarks, but it can't even get attention on that. And that makes me nervous. You know, I think there probably is a board issue as well. Give me 1 second here. Find this. Selling just one of their arms, and it's kind of I can't figure out the headline for it, but I'll find that during the break. We can look for it. But point is they're trying to shore up their cash here, and just stop going how they're going, because this is a really bad time. You know, the investment they made for photonics a little while ago with that company Avar, I believe is what it was, I think indicates that they're want to probably get more into that. And I think they already have a line a little bit with that, if I remember correctly. But if they can blow this up and be like, hey, we are the ones that you go to for this, no else, right? Yeah, I mean, they have Silicon Photonics, and integrated photonics as well, but it doesn't seem like that's getting, any kind of traction in any major way. Yeah, if you go to Intel.com, you type in integrated photonics, and they'll have a list of kind of what they're doing here. But I think that's what they should focus on. And this company is large enough that what they say and what they release can absolutely change kind of perspective. So, it's unfortunate. It is nice that the Battle Mage is good. $249, just not really doing too much. Let's take a look quickly at some Bitcoin and just all this in general. And I know I'm fudding too, so I apologize for that. I just think that shakeout is something I kind of anticipated. I didn't necessarily, think it was going to happen with the Fed meeting. I was kind of looking more at like a Trump one. But now I'm seeing this and it's like, that was some weakness there. I think there is some material weakness going forward in the U.S. economy. But, you can also argue it's like we have a bunch of capital floating in here. I think the investment for data centers is still going to be massive going forward, and they'll make something work here. So I know I'm all like doom and gloom on some of these things, but I do think I think we just have a shaky road for maybe a quarter or two ahead until we get back to where we're at. But, this reaction back to the upside is impressive, even if you do have, options expiration. Trading at 591 right now, and the SPY up 0.95% for the day. Bitcoin, wow. What a movement to the downside here. The past 5 days, you're off about 7.14%. Right now, you're trading at 96,847. There's a lot of stuff moving in with this. You have Mara continuing to buy, right? Let's see what Mara is, off 2.16. You have Hut, which is an energy company that rents out for mining as well, which is kind of interesting. You're up actually 0.32% today, but they added a ton of Bitcoin to their sheets. And so this is kind of interesting if we start seeing, just SEC filings, like 10Qs or whatever. We look at cash now, like all your cash reserve, but we're going to start seeing Bitcoin reserves. And I wonder if we start pricing, companies to that point, right? So Hut isn't really like a Bitcoin company, nor are they a Bitcoin holder. They're an energy provider, but their reserve surpasses 1 billion, right? Purchase with 1 billion in market value with a purchase of $100 million of Bitcoin. It's kind of interesting to see. I'm a little bit bearish on Bitcoin right now, just after that massive run up. Get a retrace. MSTR is still way too high at 8.78%. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I'm looking at just Ripple price right now. They released the stable coin. Ripple's is up about 0.52%. It's holding pretty steady right there at that 225. I was reading something. Someone sold all their Ripple to buy Ripple USD up at like elevated levels of 110, but I'm pretty sure the way that this stuff works is that it regulates itself between like 98 cents and like $1.02, right? Because it's supposed to be a stable coin. So don't make that mistake if you do that, because it's not going to appreciate in value like that. What a weird, that's unfortunate in a major way. Someone wanted me to look at, what is this thing? Cask? Let me see if I can pull this up. Here. Heritage Distilling. Up 32.51% at $2. Oh, wow. At $2.95. Market cap of $14 million. Okay. And so I'm trying to find the Edgar that I had pulled up for it. Okay, here it is. So they just went public, it seems like based on this filing chain. Or not. This is weird. I don't know. What I do know about this stock, from what I was reading like before I started the show, is I don't understand the growth for this. So they're a distilling company, right? And the whole like hype over this thing is a guy from Starbucks joined the board, the CEO. Stifle is the guy's name. I don't know how this gets a bid up. The IPO is at $4 per share. They have 7 tasting rooms and 2 distilleries. Yeah, and it's expected to grow. I'm not really sure. I'm actually kind of like bearish on alcohol as well. It seems like they only had like, I can't even find any earnings. Let me see if Yahoo has anything for it. Okay, what is this? Let me see. I cannot find this thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, so they had a total revenue. Okay, in 6/30/24. All right, 1.8 million. But they're down from December of last year, down from August of last year. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see where this kind of goes. I mean, the $4 is fine, but that can also be kind of an issue, right? Like you have a ceiling at $4. This thing is popping up today, probably because this guy got elected as the CEO, but expanding into Kentucky, Keg One, River City. I don't know. I'm actually extraordinarily bearish on alcohol in the next few years. And I'll tell you something that's kind of interesting about this, right? Like a lot of people that are younger than me and kind of in my age group as well, do not like drinking. We don't like going out and drinking. I think we probably drank a lot when we were in college or a little bit younger, and that kind of ruined it for all of us. But, you know, you're seeing a massive run up in alternatives for going out. imbibing something. Some things like kratom, tea is very popular. These kind of non-alcoholic elixirs are huge. I mean, very much so. And I have a buddy of mine who, he works for a company basically that distributes liquor, right? He's a liquor distributor. And, him and I just talk about, stocks or whatever every now and then. And he's telling me, this is probably like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, but I could see it as well, right? Even starting last year, where you're just getting a way stronger rise in like what are called elixirs, right? These are just non-alcoholic like herbal tinctures that taste very good, and people go out. In St. Pete, this is huge, right? I mean, you can go out downtown St. Pete, have a full day, even in Tampa to some extent, and or have a whole night and just never touch alcohol. You still go to bars and everything, but they're bars that don't sell liquor. And I think that's even true for like Gen Z and everything. And he's telling me, the guy who works at the liquor distributor, that sales are horrible this year. And we're wrapping up this year, and he's like, it's coming out of demand. Like people want to go out and not get hammered and not drink, right? There's also this kind of cultural discourse around it, and like younger people that alcohol. I mean, of course, it is technically a poison, right? But that's being leaned into very heavily. You have a bunch of massive health influencers who say stop drinking. There's a big attempt, at least by young men as well, for like self-betterment and everything, and that includes not drinking. These are major cultural forces that are at play that shouldn't be looked over. So I'm bearish anything alcohol. I don't know what to make of cask distilling. I guess at a 15 million market cap, and probably before this went up, probably something around like a 10 million or 9 million. With revenues on the year like this, I could see a buy, especially when you get a CEO who's a growth-oriented guy. But this just seems like a really small kind of just distilling op that's just kind of opening a little bit of space for people to come try the whiskey. I don't know how much are some of these. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, I gotta tell them I'm 21. Okay, there we go. These are not, oh, goodness. These are $95. Stifle Select, man, they're leaning in. $60. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big whiskey drinker anyway, so I couldn't say for sure. But okay, so they're expensive, small batch, whiskey distiller. They got a guy who has expanded to other companies before. I think we're in a broader kind of market that is bearish on alcohol consumption. Is there a spot for, more whiskey that's around $100 to $60? Yeah, I don't know. They sell vodka too, I guess, for cheaper. I don't know, it'd be interesting. I mean, I guess at 15 million, be interesting to see. If they pop up sales to, 10 or 11 million, right, at these kind of market caps, and it keeps growing that way. I mean, totally, I could totally see, I guess, a path for growth in cask, but I'm not going to take a position in this at all, so. Interesting. Up 32.28% today. How about that? All right, let's move on a little bit. Kind of want to talk a little bit about Poet. Not too much about it. I did get a bid a little bit yesterday. Up to 531, it came right back down. And looks like we're trading, 475 currently. Still just nervous about this stock. I think the Chinese exposure is really weird. I think the fact that they were having another company that was connecting them with Foxconn and everything, that was the company that was receiving the revenues, I think is bizarre. They purchased that company, which is great, but I don't know if the revenues still go to that entity or if you can even consider it a subsidiary right now with Poet Technologies. And I want so badly for this to be like a good stock, right? I think what they're making is really interesting. I think it's absolutely the future. Again, having photonics speak with traditional electron chips, but everything I read about this on the back end, right, is just spooky. So be cautious if you're in Poet. But I just want to bring that up because it moved a little bit yesterday, and it's kind of in the same realm of these kind of photonics conversations. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back. We got a short little segment for you.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back, welcome back. We had a short segment here before the end of the day. You have BlackBerry blowing up because they're selling, I think, like a cybersecurity arm, even though they have contracting forward guidance. So who knows? I think this is just a meme pump, to be honest. So what I was reading, I mean, they're losing the cybersecurity platform. There's a one-time sale, and forward guidance was not as good as people anticipated. So kind of don't get that one whatsoever. Here's something I thought was kind of interesting. This is from Bloomberg. Right, and this is kind of crazy. I feel like we're gonna have a big issue. This is U.S. water crisis looms as experienced workers begin to retire. You know, you're seeing stuff like this with airlines as well, and air traffic controllers. Like, not enough people want to go into this kind of stuff. I don't know if we're doing a very good job as a culture of trying to inspire younger people to do things like this. And it's not super flashy or anything like that. And it maybe doesn't, make you a multi-millionaire or anything. But there's, I think, a big honor in performing a job that keeps society functioning, right? And what's unfortunate about it is you can do weird stuff, meaning, have a generation and a half or something like that don't focus on things like this, and then things are okay, so nobody thinks it's a big problem, right? It's like, well, not a lot of people are choosing it, it still operates. So what happens when the older generation, retires, passes away, all that kind of stuff, and there's nothing left. This can be a significant problem for society in a major way. But I just think this is kind of interesting, a little bit unfortunate. You're also having things in healthcare industry as well, where like these older generations are retiring and the new ones are not doing as great of a job, which is kind of unfortunate. But folks, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday with Tommy O'Brien, 9 a.m. for the morning market kickoff. I don't know if we're open Tuesday. I'm going to get that answer for you and let you know on Monday. Take care.